You know what's on my mind? Contact tracing. Here on my daily thought bubble. In the Philippines, the government has implemented contact tracing for all the restaurants that are going to be opening. Now, there are two types of contact tracing that I've noticed in the restaurants. There is one via QR code using your cell phone, and the other one is a manual contact tracing where people have to write down their name, age, location, contact info, and answer all the questions on a piece of paper. Now, I think that there is a problem with the manual contact tracing that these restaurants are doing. When you do manual contact tracing, you're asking people to get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down all their information. That is prone to infection and actually increases your chance of an infection because you're using a shared pen. And although you ask people to disinfect their hands with alcohol either before or after, there still is the probability of an infection because there's a shared pen. Imagine if 100 people went into the restaurant. You asked everyone to fill out the form using that shared pen. Now, if only one person was infected and another person touched that pen, that is already problematic. So that's one problem I have with the manual contact tracing. Number two, they're using these loose pieces of paper that they kind of just put in a box. And the restaurant's supposed to compile that. And I guess they're not going to open it or use it unless there was an announcement that somebody is positive for COVID-19. Then they'll open it up and then they'll have to sort it out. So can you imagine how difficult it is to be able to open up all these loose pieces of paper, to be able to determine who came before who and who came after what, right? Now, how can these establishments make it more effective and more efficient? So to make it more effective, what they should do is instead of loose pieces of paper, is use a ledger, some sort of a notebook, a list where people will write their name, contact info, and time and date of entry, one after the other on a ledger format. So at least you know who came before who. That already makes it more effective because the ledger will write down each one's name depending on who entered first. Because if it was loose pieces of paper, people may write the wrong times on the sheet of paper. So you don't know who came before who. But on a ledger, at least it's one on top of the other. That is probably the most effective way of doing it. Regarding uses of the pen, the shared use, well, I guess the best they can do is just disinfect everyone's hands before they write and also after they write. So 2 times to ensure that there's no spread of the coronavirus by the use of the pen. But either way, I think that's just really increasing contact points where it's not necessary. I'm really surprised that they just don't use the QR code system where you actually type the info on your phone and then you submit it on your phone. And then it's all connected via some sort of a transactional or ledger system, much like a blockchain. That way, it's accurate because it's time-stamped based on what time you took the photo of the QR code or by the time you submitted it, whichever. That way, there is no sharing of a pen. That should have been the system that's been implemented. And not only that, it's environmentally unfriendly by having all these pieces of paper being used for contact tracing. Not only is it not efficient, it is also not environmentally friendly. So there, I hope that our government kind of figures this out, and I hope maybe some of the establishment owners figure this out and just get a digital system where people can use their smartphones. I've seen other restaurants do it already. I'm pretty sure that there are systems available out there that are free if they're really worried about spending for it. But regardless, I think they have to go with a digital way of doing contact tracing for the benefit of everyone and for our health. And I hope they do that soon because doing this contact tracing manually is just going to lead to more possibilities of infections rather than less. And that's my daily thought bubble for today. This is Chris Tan. Follow me on my IG at I am Chris Tan and on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe right down below. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.